Martin Luther King, that nigga had a dream. Fuck do you mean?
If that's one thing that being on the internet in recent months has taught me, it's that no matter how ridiculously small your fandom is, no matter how harmless the actual media in question is, there will always, no matter what, be a small minority of people who will hate on it for absolutely no reason at all. Even when there's no actual reasoning behind their hatred, and it's just an excuse to act like they're a fun police and say, you like this thing? Well, fuck you and your likes. Here's a 2,000-word essay explaining at length why this sucks. And those people are exactly what I'm going to be rambling about today. Hi. I'm not going to bore y'all with the intro, even though I'm pretty sure I've only made one finished video of it. Strawberry Showcase, BITBC City, current favorite show, times of change, and no time your monster had you doing to the Owl House, when the hiatus finally end. You get the point. For some unknown reason, recently I've been seeing a lot of hate being thrown towards BITBC City. Thankfully, it has slowed down slightly, but the shit that's been said still replays constantly, almost as if it's on a loop in my mind, and it's seriously annoying. If the overly long intro didn't clue you in, this video is going to be talking about the stupid complaints I've seen being thrown towards the show, and why absolutely none of them make any actual sense. Now, something I want to make absolutely crystal clear before this video starts. I don't care if you actually dislike BITBC City. I mean, hell, it's my favorite show ever, but even I can admit I have my own issues with it. First of all, Pumpkin Spice, which, yeah, I think you can tell how much I don't like her.
If word gets out that a beast from Berry Bog is haunting the frightful fun fair, it could cause a citywide panic. So the most important thing right now is that we don't tell anybody else until we have more information.
Good fucking God, shut the fuck up! I'm talking about Pumpkin Spice, not Lime, obviously. And fun fact, in my reaction to 𝒯𝒽𝒄𝒽𝒶𝓇𝓉, which I don't even know when the hell that'll be edited, you'll get to experience probably the most I've screamed about Pumpkin Spice in a video before. That was the one singular line that had me ever laugh from anything Pumpkin has ever said in the entire 2 specials she's been in. Every fucking line she says unironically has me hate her more. I did not know it was physically possible for them to have me hate her any more than I already did, but holy shit. That and also, neither does Sweet Tooth Fairy, whilst being an awesome episode which also provided some of the best Blue Line feel to date, is also the cause for some of the dumbest hate canons I've ever seen about these characters being preteens. Tell me all you want, but I am not nudging on the fact that they're at least like 15 to 16. And considering what I think, I'd argue even that's a stretch. I am on board with saying that Lime is the youngest though. Point is, I can understand and validate you if you say that you don't like BITBC City. I mean, hell, one of my IRLs said the show just isn't for her, which is fine. However, I really only care if you hate BITBC City for a reason that doesn't make sense. People just nitpicking at one very hyper-specific detail and acting like it's the worst problem in the entire world. And that's pretty much what this video is. Hope you enjoy me ranting, I guess. I'm convinced people who use it against the show either haven't watched it or know nothing about what makes a good character design. Alright, one at a time. By looking at stupid charts like this, which, don't worry, I will personally tear into shit like this later on, it's kind of apparent that Strawberry's design has gotten a bit simple over the years. I mean, hell, put 1980 and 2021 together. And I mean the correct 2021, and it's clear as day. I don't really see why the 2021 design needs to be getting hate just because it's simpler than what we used to have. See, there's something y'all need to learn, and it's the fact that simple doesn't always equal bad. And if simple does equal bad to you, then here's your badge. You've just been appointed to a fun police station. Now please live by sight and start having some fucking fun with your life. And besides, there's a good chance there are probably more practical reasons for why the designs had to get simplified in 2021. Hey, incoming shocking fact that you need to learn. Animation is difficult as shit. I mean, hell, I've tried it myself. Shit's not easy. And you wanna know something my 3D animation teacher told me when I was taking his class? Which wasn't for long, so I had to get my schedule rearranged shortly after. He told me that it's better to have simpler designs so that they're easier to animate, which for obvious reasons makes a lot of sense. We gotta remember, the earliest Strawberry Shortcake media was made in the 1980s. Animation wasn't exactly easy back then. We're having it easy nowadays in 2024, but back then, girl please, you might as well have just been tasked to start a rocket. Having a more complex character design definitely would have just added fuel to the growing fire of pain and agony. So hey, all you people complaining about the designs being too simple, maybe think about the fact that simpler designs are easier to animate. And hell, maybe that's not even a reason. If you look at any frame from BITBC City, you'll notice that the simplistic style is kind of just the show's general style. Plain and simple, the show's general art style is, well, simple. I'm sorry I had to. You'd think simple designs would fit for a simple art style, right? And again, just because I'm saying the show's general art style is simple doesn't mean I'm saying it's bad. Far from it. I think this show's art style, whilst being simple, is beautiful. To reinforce once again, simple isn't equal to bad. And now, the other half of this point. How are you gonna sit here and blabber about these designs having no personality? Literally, every single one of them is distinct in their own unique ways, and you can clearly tell who's who, even without seeing the face for crying out loud. I mean, hell, they all pass the silhouette test with flying colors. I can literally guess who every character in this image is within a few seconds, and I'm pretty sure someone who passed the first season and then immediately skipped to this frame would be able to tell, because they're literally that recognizable. Another reason why that point is just absolute bullshit is the fact that you can easily tell a lot of characters' traits from their design alone. You can tell that Strawberry really likes strawberries. Orange's short sleeves and the headband, knowing her character, could be a nod to her athleticism. Lemon's literally got goggles on her near 24/7. Lime having glasses most likely implies she's a nerd of the group, and what do you know, I'm right. Red's general clothing style is a nod to how much of a fashionista he is. The list just goes on. Point is, their clothes alone are enough of a hint as to who they are as a person. That, and also, supposedly people have said that they don't resemble the fruit they're named after, which, like, if that is a legitimate sentence someone has actually typed on a keyboard and published to the World Wide Web, then I truly don't think they deserve to be trusted with opinions, because Strawberry's beanie resembles a strawberry. She had a shirt that has a strawberry on it, and for crying out loud, her bag looks like a strawberry. Orange's shirt very clearly has a spliced orange on it, so does her headband. Even her bonnet does, by the way. Also, this is entirely unrelated, but what the fuck is that 2009 design for Orange Blossom? Bitch, that ain't no Orange Blossom. That is white petunia, bro. Be so damn for real right now. Lemon's overalls have a lemon emblem on them, and are you seriously gonna tell me that this lemon-shaped cord from Perfect Holiday doesn't say anything to you? Lime's hair ties look like a sliced lime, so does the emblem on her skirt, and hey, her skirt's even stylized to look like a lime wedge. We're gonna ignore the fact that it took me a few minutes to see that one, but it's there. You could make the argument that Blueberry's bun is shaped to look like a blueberry, but honestly, I think I'll go with the easier choice that is less of a stretch, the blueberry on her dress. Next! Also, unrelated again, but she's East Asian? Am I just stupid or am I stupid? Raspberry's headband has a raspberry-shaped emblem on it, her shirt's got a raspberry design on it, and although this is kind of unrelated, her design was intentionally made to reflect strawberries to imply a form of rivalry, which my gay-ass self who likes talking a little too much can't help but use this information to my advantage. Also, slightly unrelated again, but whilst looking at the wiki, I discovered that dark raspberry is actually the name of a fucking color, and funnily enough, that is the exact hair color of Raspberry Tart. So, checkmate, bitch. And there are tons more examples, but I won't bore you or myself with explaining them all. That, and also the day that I wrote this part of the script, this was my phone setup for researching this part, and I really don't want to have to work off of this shit for any longer. Trust me, it's worse than you think. Besides, I think it's just generally really hypocritical to only call out Berry in a Big City for having designs that don't resemble the fruits they're named after, when 09's design had this shit, which I think might be the worst Orange Blossom design I've ever seen. And I'm literally seeing this shit for the first time this year. That should be saying something. Using the 03 design here, be completely fucking honest, do you really think you'd be able to tell that this was Orange Blossom if I gave you zero context? Well, my nephew called her fucking Deborah if that says anything. He knows absolutely nothing about Strawberry Shortcake though, so do what you will with that info. Oh yeah, there was also— Chad, if I gave you this character with actually zero context, what would you think his name is?
I have three options: Maribel, Chad, or Bella.
Not Chad, bro!
Don't ask where Chad came from.
We don't ask questions, but... Yeah, sorry, I just had to include that in there. The 2021 design is just as ambiguous, but still, that should say a lot. Anyways, I think I've talked about this topic for way too long, so let's finally move on. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is the point I kind of agree with. Some episodes kind of feel like they end way too soon, and probably wouldn't have benefited from being a two-parter, or maybe even a three-parter if the show did those. Case in point, the season 2 almost finale, since the actual season 2 finale was just the main cast going roller skating, and the season 3 finale. Both finales kind of felt like they ended a bit too quickly, and probably wouldn't have been better off being three-parters. But like, counter argument incoming, they have 4 fucking minutes in an episode, and I'm pretty sure that includes credits as well. And even then, most of the 120 episodes the show has currently fall in a more slice of life category than anything. It's not trying its hardest to have an overarching story, but it's really just trying to have the characters have some silly adventures together, minus one conflict that 9 times out of 10 seems silly in concept as well. Like that one episode where the cast were fighting over the last marshmallow whilst camping, or that one episode where they were competing to decide if camping or glamping was better, or that one episode where Raspberry and Strawberry kissed on the lip. Point is, most of the plots for the show are really fun, and I think that's meant to be the point more than everything else. Above all though, this is the complaint that makes the most sense and actually holds some water. Although, is it so bad to the point that it's a valid reason to hate the entire show? Like, yeah, I'll admit it is a bit disheartening to have a disappointing season finale, but I would think that even the people who complain about the show would think that that thinking is entirely too harsh and unjustified. I don't think this could have been rectified if the villain defeats were more spread out throughout their own season. Like how Raspberry going to like Strawberry was apparent throughout every episode Raspberry was in from New Year's Wish onwards, which I will still forever say is one of the best character redemptions I've seen in a while. Maybe the same kind of principle could have been applied to seasons 2 and 3 respectively. Like in season 2, we could have maybe seen Everyberry start to trust Pie-Man less until the ending where they all turn against him, which I find even dumber since in season 3, Everyberry is just back to trusting him again since he's trendy now, but hey, that's how it is in real life, so who am I to complain? Or in season 3 where the exact same principle could have been used with Crabapple. Or in season 4 where Toy becomes official. What I'm trying to say is that this complaint actually makes some sense, but seriously man, it really isn't the end of the world. The goal of most episodes is to just have some fun, not to tell some overarching story. It's not the end of the world if a few episodes feel like they're a bit rushed. There's not really much you can do in 4 minutes. Upon first glance at the topic, I originally thought this was just people bitching about Birdemic City having not just one, but 2 canonically gay couples and a canonical lesbian couple, and 3 trans characters. Okay, with a lot of 2 are more implied, but the first one is legitimately canon. After asking people about it though, it more so seems that it's just people complaining that Birdemic City has characters that are different races. You know, honestly, with the fact that all the people who hate on Birdemic City have clearly never seen the show, I really should have seen that one coming. Alright, let's talk a bit about this one. Birdemic City's got some pretty cool shit like Orange being black, or Blueberry being East Asian, which, if the last section didn't tell you anything, is something I literally didn't even know about until I looked at the wiki. And Lime being Afro-Latina and plus size, which is again something I didn't notice until looking at the wiki. And lots of other cool representations like that, even including gay people! So, my question is, why is it such a big deal that Birdemic City has characters that are other races? Does it really matter this much? What is the problem here exactly? Like, my god, I would have preferred that this topic actually talked about Birdemic City having LGBTQ couples, because at least then I'd have something to talk about and I'd be able to make jokes at the expense of homophobes. This is literally a non-issue, but calling it forced representation is literally the entirely wrong term. Forced representation is the sudden inclusion of a minority or disassociated group, likely just to appeal to the audience, in which Birdemic City literally doesn't do that? Like, I'm sorry, this is just such a nothing of a complaint. For crying out loud, just because Birdemic City has more diversity than shit like 09, in which the designs like this pile of garbage, or 03 where, actually 09 looked worse. Notice how Orange is the only black person in both of these images, by the way. And yet they somehow managed to fucking whitewash Orange. Point is, just because Birdemic City's got more diversity doesn't instantly make it bad or forced. In fact, it's literally the opposite. Y'all don't seem to realize that representation is good. Birdemic City's representation is good. At least Orange isn't the only colored person there. There's Limer and there's also Huck. Also, they don't forcefully say shit like, oh look guys, you're black. Guys, look. It's subtle, and if you notice, and it's like, oh, that's cool. I mean, hell, I literally didn't even notice that Blueberry was East Asian until I looked at the wiki. That's a good thing. Representation is there. It's a subtle detail, and they don't just try and force it into your face. This is a good thing. Also, maybe it's just me, but like, am I the only one who sort of like Lime more after processing the fact that she's plus size? Now, something I want to point out, there are a few complaints people have given that I want to point out, but they're just so nonsensical to the point that I don't even want to give them full segments, because at best, I don't think they deserve them, and at worst, they take up like maybe a minute of time, if not less, so there's literally no point in giving them full segments. And as such, I've decided to add a very small stupid complaint blitz round to really highlight some of the dumbest instances of people bitching about the show that really don't deserve more time being shown onto them. Fully convinced this one is just people being blinded in my nostalgia. Now, I've never seen older generation of Strawberry Shortcake, so I can't speak too much on this one, but all I'll say is, why does this matter? For fuck's sake, it's a reboot. Please define a reboot. I'll even make it easier for you. I'll do it myself. This is the exact kind of bullshit I see from Monster High G3, where people would bitch about it retconning previous things from G1, which, mind you, was 12 years prior to G3 starting. Something that I really feel like people nowadays need to learn is that reboots change things. That's kind of the entire point of a reboot. Even if Strawberry Shortcake doesn't have the whole whimsical fairy tale setting it used to have in old generations, that doesn't exactly mean it's bad. Change isn't a bad thing, and y'all seriously need to start learning that. And also, it's not like Strawberry Shortcake nowadays has absolutely no magic in sight. Case in point, Literally, this scene from Perfect Holiday and Cinnamon Swirl's entire existence, who she is literally Berry in a Big City's representation of Santa Claus. That and also Blueberry's entire character. Either she can literally talk to the universe or somehow every single coincidence in her favor is just fate. I'll leave that for you to decide. I'm not talking about this one. I'm fully convinced people are just trolling when or if they say that shit, because I heavily doubt anyone legitimately has that belief. For the sake of my own sanity, all I'll say is that the difference between these two is that one of them is actually good. Before the video ends, there's just one more thing I really need to talk about. Something I vaguely hinted at on my Twitter, which you should follow, that legitimately bothers me to no end. It just annoys me so damn much. I just need to talk about Okay, to just air out what I have to say right off the bat, this chart is an absolute disgrace and it horribly misrepresents Berry in a Big City and everything it's supposed to be. Okay, maybe that's a bit too serious and harsh. To the average person, it's probably not that bad, but I cannot describe how much charts like this piss me off. Alright, you probably have very little idea what I really mean. So you know these posts that are like Strawberry Shortcake throughout the years, and it has an image of how Strawberry's design has developed throughout the years? Yeah, well at face value, you might just think, oh, this seems completely harmless. It's just a chart showing how Strawberry's design has evolved throughout the years, nothing more, nothing less. What's the issue here? It's the 2021 section, this vector, this piece of shit. Alright, now let me reiterate for a second. By itself, I do not hate this vector. Sure, it looks a bit off, and I'd argue the show looks better. We'll get to that in a bit. But by itself, pretty alright if I do say so myself. But the problem here is, as I've just mentioned, this is not what Berry in a Big City looks like. This is a concept design for the final product. This is a real screenshot from the fucking intro. We'll get to that in a bit as well. Again, while I do like the concept image, compared to the actual show, this shit looks ugly. I'm sorry, it's just correct. Compared to what Berry in a Big City actually looks like, this looks like that fucking concept CGI Sonic design that the entire internet freaked out over. I mean, you wanna know the worst part of it all? Every single time I see a post showing off one of these charts, either the OG post or the comments are endlessly shitting on the 2021 design. Most times both. Even worse still, I have never seen a single fucking post with one of these charts use the actual correct 2021 design for Strawberry. Every single one always uses the outdated 2031 vector for it, and it pisses me off so much, because this is not what Berry in a Big City looks like. And even worse still, I cannot explain to you how insanely easy it is to literally just grab a screenshot from the show and use it for one of these posts. You even have the intro to pick from. I don't fucking care if most of these I grab from TikTok. That app sucks dick anyway and shouldn't be a place where you get factual information from, because 9 times out of 10, the info I do see from that app via some Twitter posts is fucking idiotic, because most people there are fucking idiots who just spread misinformation as if it's a fucking widespread tornado drill. If you're gonna have the audacity to make a post with one of these charts, for fuck's sake, at least use an image from the main show itself instead of this garbage. It might not change much, but my god, it'd at least be spreading correct info on how 2021 Strawberry Shortcake actually looks like. Because even worse still, there is a very good chance every person in these comments has never seen Berry in a Big City before. And it's still even worse further if it's posts like this that prevent them from doing so because they think this looks ugly. The actual show itself looks incredibly beautiful aesthetically. I mean, hell, there are multiple images from season 1 alone that just point out the amazing color harmony the show has in some scenes. Now again, I don't care if you don't like Berry in a Big City, that's fine by me if for good reason, but my god, if you see one of these charts first before anything else, at least try giving the show a chance, because I promise you, this looks like shit compared to the actual quality of the show. I think the straw that breaks Camel's back is that shit hasn't changed whatsoever. One of the first posts I've seen of this shit dates to March of this year, and I have still seen these videos the day of writing this part of the script. Things still have not changed. Berry in a Big City just constantly seems to receive hate for reasons in which almost all of them are unjustified and based off of the concept design. And hey, if you're so unhappy with how modern Strawberry Shortcake looks like, then do something about it. Give some constructive criticism, some tips and tricks that you can suggest to make it a bit better. Hell, even redesign it yourself. If y'all are this damn upset about change, then implement the changes you want to see yourself. Be the change you want to see in the world and stop making a fuss about it on Twitter. Because trust me, seeing redesigns of Strawberry would be infinitely better than empty and stupid complaints over an old design with no real justification value to them. I think something that truly reaches the bottom of the barrel though is the fact that the Strawberry Shortcake socials are not helping whatsoever. I can't speak to clearly on this myself as I don't follow them myself, but other people have told me that the Strawberry Shortcake socials aren't helping make Random City look any better because of the fact that they're doing an awful job at trying to promote it. People have said that with the amount of nostalgia-based posts they're making, it seems they're just choosing to ignore Random City because they're acknowledging the useless hate it's been getting. And the worst part is that I've caught on to this myself, and aside from YouTube, I literally don't follow any of their socials. On the main YouTube, it seems to be pretty evenly spread out between all generations, but apparently on other social media, this seems to not be the case at all. This is what truly hurts to me. I fucking love Random City with all of my soul, and to see it get this much undeserved hate, so much so to the point that it might even be causing Wellbeing themselves to catch on to it, it hurts so much. I think that's a good note to finally end this video on. Sorry for the more ranty video here, especially about the solo I love so much, but trust me, when most of the fervor Strawberry Shortcake community is a raging pile of shit that can't accept when things change, I think the rant was most needed. At this point, I'm legitimately starting to think that absolutely nobody hates Barry the Big City because I've literally never seen any actual reason to hate it. Every single reason I've ever seen for why someone doesn't like this show has always been the smallest and most insignificant thing in existence, to the point where it literally doesn't matter whatsoever. And if you do hate Barry the Big City for one of these stupid reasons, then please give up and start having some fucking fun with your life. Before the video properly ends, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the following people for the huge contributions to the writing of the script. Especially Mandy, which, holy actual shit woman, you are insane in the best possible way. No, like actually, I cannot point out how helpful your messages were. This script seriously would not have turned out as high quality as it did with the massive help all of y'all had given me. Thank you all so much. Like, seriously, can't even thank y'all enough. And on that note, thank you for watching, and I'll see you whenever the hell my next video comes out. Take care.